This video will go over the nomenclature best practices for locations, field samples, and library files in FUDSChem. The video description lists timestamps to help you navigate to the portion that you need. Following recommended naming conventions improves the quality of your data by making it more standardized and easier to navigate. It also ensures that names are unique, preventing duplications that can cause confusion later on. Locations represent specific geographic coordinates where measurements or samples are taken. It may be a single point, such as a well, or a geographic area, such as an ISM decision unit. Each is given a unique location ID, to which all other data types are tied. In order for chemistry data, field data, or other data to be submitted to FUDSChem, a location ID must first be established. Note that only one location ID should be established per geographic location. A location ID is not the same as a field sample ID. The location is the coordinates where the sample is collected. The samples themselves will each be assigned their own field sample ID. Depth and sampling date are not included in the location ID and are recorded in the field sample information instead. The location ID can be a maximum of 15 characters. It is made up of uppercase alpha and numeric characters. The hyphen and underscore are the only non-alphanumeric characters allowed. Spaces are not allowed. The recommended location ID consists of 3 elements: a property identifier, a location type, and a sequential number with leading zeros. The property identifier provides a general frame of reference to the FUDS property. It can be up to 5 alphanumeric characters. For this example, we will use CRB for Camp Richards Base. The property identifier will be followed by a hyphen. The location type element is 2 characters defining the type of location. For example, MW could be used for monitoring well. SS could be used for surface survey. SU could be used for sampling unit. For this example, we will use MW to designate a monitoring well. The last identifier we need is a sequential number. We'll use the number 001. Note that it is important to include the leading zeros in order to sort locations correctly in dropdowns. In some cases, location IDs may need to include additional information. For example, especially large operations may have multiple projects or programs taking place simultaneously. They may opt to include a 2-character designator after the property designator to show which project or program a location belongs to. For our example, if the Camp Richards Base was broken down into 3 projects, we might update our location ID to include 03 after the CRB to show this location is used for Project 3. As another example, well clusters may include wells of the same name with a depth indicator added to the end. An example location we sometimes use for these training videos is CRB-MW-466S. The S indicates this is the shallowest well of the cluster. Similarly, D can be used to indicate the deepest well. The most important thing is that the 3 key items, property, type, and sequence number, are included. For more information on entering locations, please refer to our Loading Locations to FUDSChem tutorials, linked in the description. Once location data is entered and approved, we can start filling out our event management information, including field sample IDs. Each field sample ID designates a specific sample taken from a given location at a specific time. For more information on event management, please refer to our Event Management Tutorials Parts 1 through 3, linked in the description. The field sample ID can be a maximum of 30 characters. It is made up of uppercase alpha and numeric characters. The hyphen and the underscore are the only non-alphanumeric characters allowed. Spaces should not be included. Sample IDs must be unique and cannot be reused across events within the same project. To ensure uniqueness, the recommended field sample ID consists of 3 elements: the location ID, a timeframe indicator, and a QC indicator if applicable. We recommend choosing something other than the exact date of sampling for the timeframe indicator. This saves rework if the day of sampling changes. Using the year and quarter or year and month gives more flexibility for the field team to sample on an alternate day if needed. For this example, we'll add our location ID, followed by an underscore, followed by 4Q 2023 as our timeframe indicator. A QC indicator is not necessary for normal samples. It is used to indicate a field QC sample. For example, including FD or DUP in the sample name can indicate a field duplicate. MS and MSD samples should use the same name as the parent. The system will still distinguish the QC sample from other samples based on their different location IDs and sample types, even if their sample IDs are the same. Please note that it is important that QC samples and the associated parent sample have the same beginning and ending depths and sample number in order for the automated data review to function correctly. In the case of a resampling, the field sample ID should be updated to indicate resampling took place. We recommend adding R to the end of the name. Note that FUDSChem sampling has specific recommendations for sample ID naming, which can be referenced in our Best Practices FUDSChem video, linked in the description. The information is also found in the Best Practices FUDSChem pamphlet, which can be found on FUDSChem under Resources, Best Practices, before logging in. The most important thing is including the 3 key items: location ID, timeframe, and QC indicator, if applicable. We recommend not entering field QC samples in event management, and instead adding a new record to the electronic COCs, or ChemField files, for these examples. We go over creating ChemField files in our field sampling ChemField entry tutorial. This video is linked in the description. The process takes place under Tools, Data Submission, where we'll use the Add Field QC button to automatically pair our blanks with the applicable samples. Blanks that are not tied to specific locations, such as trip blanks and equipment blanks, will follow a different naming convention than field samples. However, like other samples, blanks must be given unique names. These names cannot be reused for subsequent events. Blank IDs will include the following 3 elements: type, number, timeframe. The type will indicate the type of blank in question. For example, a trip blank would start with TB. The number will be used to distinguish when there are multiple blanks of the same kind in the same sampling event. For example, if this is our 3rd trip blank, we'd add a hyphen and the number 03 after the TB. Blanks will use the same timeframe indicator as we discussed previously for other samples. For this example, we will use 4Q 2023 again. For more information on entering sampling information, please refer to our Event Management tutorial and our Field Sampling ChemField Entry tutorial. These videos are linked in the description. The FUDSChem library stores supporting documents for all kinds of data types. Metadata for the documents can be updated to sort them into appropriate categories. Additionally, each file should be given a clear, consistent title to make library searches easy to perform. We recommend naming library files with the file type, followed by the SDG number, in the case of laboratory data, or location, in the case of other data. If a revised file is uploaded, the revision number should be appended to the name. For example, the recommended naming convention for a laboratory report would be Laboratory Report SDG 123. A revised laboratory report would be Laboratory Report SDG 123 Revision 1. For files such as groundwater sample collection logs that contain data from many different locations, we recommend including the event name, rather than listing out every location as part of the title. For more information on submitting files to the FUDSChem library, please refer to our library submission tutorial. This video is linked in the description. Additional information on recommended naming conventions is available in the FUDSChem user manual, which is located at FUDSChem.com under Resources before logging in. It is also available under Quick Links if you are already logged in. This includes examples for each naming convention, as well as a table of naming recommendations for library files. The information in this video is also found under Resources, Best Practices, before logging in. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.